Hi guys, I'm Michaela from Hitting Close to Home. I wanted to speak about the events of yesterday. You've probably heard by now that there were multiple shootings at massage parlors in Atlanta, Georgia yesterday. Whether or not the police officially deem it a hate crime or not, Asian hate crimes has risen by 1,900% since the beginning of the pandemic. That's astonishing and heartbreaking, and unfortunately this hate is nothing new, but when people are scared they scapegoat and they take out their aggression on others. Hitting Close to Home is still in its infancy, as well as the social media pages, so I don't have much of a platform right now, but I still felt that I needed to say something about this. So it is my personal belief that all of humanity, all of Earth, nature, we're all connected. And we all need each other. We're all and interdependent. Whether that shooter's motivation was sexually motivated, misogynistic or just racist, whatever, all of these things has to be a thing of the past. They have to go, because we need to understand that we are connected with each other and there's a lot more that we have in common than we have that sets us apart. If you've seen my website, you know that I consider myself a recovering perfectionist. So perfectionism and anxiety kind of go hand in hand. I don't like to do things unless I know that I'm going to do them right the first time. And that has actually been such a hindrance to my taking part in activism or speaking out about things. I'm afraid of saying the wrong thing or offending somebody, or all of the million things that quickly run through my head before I'm about to say something like this, that eventually just makes me stop and not do. If anything, it's not enough. There are probably a lot of people out there who feel the same way. Deep down they care. I've certainly did my share of crying listening to your stories and your personal feelings about how things have been affecting you and your family and your community. And it is heartbreaking. So since my goal with Hitting Close to Home is to shun perfectionism and simply try my best, that's what I'm going to do. I don't have much of a platform yet, but I'm going to use it. I'm still learning not to take things personally, but to listen and to learn and reflect on my own behavior. And I really hope that other people also do the same. I have a new article coming out soon about the forest and what I've learned about how trees in a forest are connected through underground fungal networks. And through these networks, they communicate with each other and look out for each other. They literally send each other nutrients. If there's a tall tree that can see the sun and generate the sugars it needs for energy, it can transport those to seedlings nearby that aren't yet tall enough to reach the sunlight and generate their own. That's just such a great analogy for humanity. We are all connected. We are all a part of this earth. So I think it's about time that we stop trying to live in, a battlefield where, there's nothing but destruction and death. And instead, try to help each other learn and grow and become stronger together. And eventually we'll have a thriving forest. That might be cheesy, but I love the analogy anyway. If you've taken the time to listen, I really appreciate it. My heart goes out to everyone, just everyone, to all of you. Whether you're directly affected by the shootings or other Asian American hate crimes recently, or if you're Asian American and you're afraid to, go out by yourself, or you're worried about your elderly grandparents, my heart goes out to you. And please know that I am learning, and I will not be quiet this time. And another thing. One of the comments that I've heard repeatedly was that if you consume something from Asian culture, like K-pop, K-dramas, Chinese food, whatever, then it is your duty to really speak out about it, because you can't just consume a culture without respecting it, without protecting it. I personally am a big fan of K-dramas. I listen to them or watch them way too often, actually. I think it's kind of become an unhealthy obsession. But if I'm going to enjoy all of these movies and shows from, this particular culture, but then that culture isn't being protected in the country that I live in, then, that's just so messed up. It really is. If you love something, you should protect it. If you consume something from a culture and don't protect it, that's really just like colonialism, really. If you're going to consume something from that culture, speak out when that community is victimized. Okay, that's all I have.